book nerds, I'm Ari Elizabeth, and today I'm doing the Halloween book tag. Alright, so I've got a list of 7 questions today for you, so let's just jump right into it, shall we? Question number 1. What is your favorite horror book? For this question, I'm going to have to go with The Madman's Daughter by Megan Shepherd. This book gave me goosebumps like you wouldn't even believe. I've talked about it before in previous videos. This book just has a lot to do with vivisection, which is like live dissection, which is enough to already win it in this category. But on top of that, it's this girl who goes off to look for her father who's sort of left their family, and she goes back to find him only to discover that he's been doing several weird experiments on animals. And if you're interested, it is definitely a spooky read. Question number 2. What is the scariest moment when you've read? I don't actually have the book with me for this, but I'm gonna have to say The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. I was honestly so terrified for the children in this book, and I was disgusted by the way they were treated, but I was so scared that I actually had to keep turning the page in order to read what happened next, just because I needed to know if these children were going to be okay at the end. Definitely worth checking out. Question 3! Would you or have you ever dressed up as a literary character for Halloween? Well, there was this one year where I dressed up as a girl/tomboy creature demon thing from a internet comic that I used to be really into, whose name I totally can't think of right now, so I apologize for that. However, I will say that this year's Halloween costume is going to be a shadow hunter from Cassandra Clare's The Mortal Instruments. Question 4. What would your favorite character be for Halloween? I think it would be a total laugh if Rose from the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead dressed up as a vampire. I think that would be the cutest couple costume ever with Dimitri. He wouldn't even have to do anything, which, you know, usually suits the boy half of a couple's costume, and she could have cute little vampire fangs, and oh my god, I just created a new set of fan fiction. Question 5. What is your favorite kind of horror? I've never really thought about this too much. I'm not a huge fan of horror reading. I'm actually a total baby. However, I have to say R.L. Stine's Fear Street saga, there's 3, and then I think there's like an additional 7 that happen quite a while later, kind of encompasses all kinds of horror books. And I did really enjoy this series. It's spooky and it's full of gore and it's pretty sort of psych thriller and very, very suspenseful. Question 6. If books were as cheap as candy, what one would you give out? First off, let's be real. If books were as cheap as candy, I would be honestly not even handing them out. I would just be keeping them for myself like the greedy reader I am. And I am not even upset by it because I know me and I know that that's what I do. However, if I had to give a book to give other people, Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, this is going to be a really great way to get people into the series just by giving them the first book and not the others, because then they're going to have to go out and buy the rest. But it is honestly one of my favorite trilogies, and I just know if you haven't read it yet, you will love it, so pick it up and go and get it. Also, has a lot of creatures in it, so perfect for this time of year. Question 7. What Halloween reads would I recommend for you? So I feel like in this section a lot of people are going to be recommending things that have vampires and werewolves in them, because that seems to be our 2 most popular things nowadays. However, what I'm going to do is actually educate all you internet folk, because not only is it Halloween, but it is also Samhain, which is a pagan New Year for witches, which is so exciting. Being pagan, I thought I would just sort of put that out there for you. So I've got a couple books that are not necessarily novels. However, they are fun reads. First off is The Pocketbook of Death. This is illustrated by Rob Denblecker and David McElfatrick. Okay, I'm sorry, but that is definitely not this guy's real name. And also Chris Wilson. So this, as you can see, has a lot of bookmarks because there's some super interesting things in here. But basically this book just sort of goes over death facts, which is a little bit dark, I agree. However, it's in the shape of a little like headstone, which I thought was adorable. And I mean, it's got things like weird last meals that people have ordered over the years, morbid death facts, and it's just super fun. The second book I want to recommend is Walking the Twilight Path by Michelle Belanger, and this is a gothic book of the dead. Basically, this one sort of goes over how to get in touch with the dark side and also ghosts, how to make contact with the spiritual realm, and it has got a lot of personal sort of accounts in this book, and if you believe in ghosts and you think you might have one and want to learn how to talk to one, definitely pick this book up. The third book I have for you is the Pagan Book of Living and Dying, and this is by Starhawk, and this is full of practical rituals, prayers, blessings, and meditations on crossing over. Totally fitting for when the veil is thinnest on October 31st. So I chose those reads because I thought it would just be a lot more fun and different sort of take on a recommendation. They're not super fictitious novels, but they are a lot of fun to read and super fun for this type of year because it is really spooky, and if you want to get in touch with those on the other side, then definitely check that out. Alright, so that is it for my spooky bookish Halloween tag. Definitely have a ton of fun on October 31st. Remember to stay safe, remember to read a good book, and let me know what you thought about my bookish tag today. Leave some comments down below and I will love to get back to you. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.